Hey guys, it's Eric from Sensory Dad, and we just wrapped up week 4 at the Star Institute for our therapy sessions. So, as we continue on with the therapy, we've seen a handful more breakdowns in behavior and just kind of tantrums or just, reaching that heavy part of his mentality to where if something goes wrong, we start to shut down and just rebel or just completely lose it. Um, it's not that often that it happens, but you can see that he's now comfortable enough with the process and the people that are in place there that he could show his true feelings and his true reactions. It has moved a little bit farther along. Really getting tight with the people that work there as far as the therapists, and I think he's doing really well. Now, one thing that I saw, um, so they recommended a couple books, and we got the Big Life Journal. So we started doing a couple exercises in a Big Life Journal for him to discover a little bit, just explore his feelings, be able to realize what feelings are happening when they're happening. You see that it's kind of like a break to where it just goes from, you can be happy, and then if something goes awry, then you go right to mad or angry, and or frustration. So I think what the goal is to try to get him to realize what emotions he's having, when he's having them, or if he's about to have them, and try to be a little proactive with his reactions and see if he can manage or utilize a coping strategy from all the other therapies that we've tried. It's worked a couple times. It's funny. It seems like if it's a bigger group to where there's other kids in there for therapy at the same time in a large gym, that he was able to control himself somewhat. It's almost as if the other kids were looking, and like since the eyes were on him, and there were other younger children in there, that he thought a little bit more. Maybe he just didn't want to have an embarrassing moment or anything like that. So that was kind of cool to see that reaction, that kind of ability come out in him. When it's just me and the one therapist, or even when we have the two therapists, we've done a couple sessions like that. Since he's so comfortable with everybody, and there's not that fear of kind of maybe embarrassing himself, and I'm just speculating, but he'll just he's ran out of the room, or he's taken a break and just ran away and just like, I'm done, I quit, and I'm done, this game's dumb, and he goes to his standby remarks to where it's just like, I'm tired of this, I don't want to play anymore, I'm done, this is stupid. And that happens a lot. Him realizing what feelings he has, so we don't really know, Jen and I as parents, like, what do we need to do with that? So what we did was, we were instructed to try to read through a book and called the Yes Brain, and it's actually pretty insane because if you have a sensory seeker, I could tell you that it's like reading something you wrote down about how your child behaves. Almost every scenario in the book that they come up with, even the abstract ones are spot on. It was just kind of crazy. Like, holy cow. Do they know my kid? Is there a hidden camera? I mean, it's that detailed. So basically, we both finished the book this week, and looking at it, you can kind of pick apart how you're parenting. And I mean, obviously, hindsight's 2020, but you know, when I was a kid, we weren't in that many activities. Maybe because it was time consuming. Maybe we just, me as a kid, if things got difficult, maybe I didn't want to do it anymore, or maybe it was a money factor that we just didn't have the money to keep you in, say, a karate or a gymnastics or a baseball league or a football league. Luckily, when I grew up, we had a lot of different friends and parents that we could carpool and kind of help us out. So, I did get involved in a lot of stuff. And sometimes that schedule gets kind of out of hand. You have just a little bit too much to do. And on a child, that can really affect them. So, it really made me take a hard look because my whole philosophy on this sensory issue was, if we keep challenging him and putting him in situations that are difficult, while building life skills, with his Tang Sudo or with the soccer or with the weight training we do and, the agility training and all the things we're doing to connect his right brain and left brain, to get the brain synapses to actually mesh so that the coordination comes in and the things that are challenged by his sensory needs. You know, I think that maybe we're pushing a little hard. I mean, we had gotten to a point to where we got that schedule, which is utterly important for any kid with sensory issues. So dealing with the scheduling, basically trying to fill as many spots as you can in something constructive. And I know that thought process, I mean, heck, you can base your life off of that. If you're got a lot of downtime and a lot of idle time, you're not gonna excel at anything. You really need to focus. Every great athlete or great business person could tell you, if you put your mind to something and you drive and you accomplish it, and sometimes you got to work, harder than the next guy, and that can be detrimental. So a lot of what the Yes Brain talks about is they need, kids need that downtime, and whenever they're having those breakdowns, those emotional breakdowns and fits and tantrums, it's basically a way of throwing up a white flag and saying, I don't have the emotional tools to deal with this situation. So this is how I'm kind of bugging out. And it made a lot of sense. A lot of the points kind of lead toward, sometimes you can overwhelm a child. And if you haven't spent the time developing those feelings for them, then you're not going to have a good time. You're going to have more breakdowns. You're going to have more instances where that occurs. So therapy's going pretty well. Just wanted to check in. I'll do a follow up tomorrow. We're going to go to the Broncos game. So I just wanted to let you guys know that 4 weeks in, it's going really well. The book has been a godsend. We're going to continue to work on a lot of the things, and try to get him to be able to work through his feelings and develop that skill set to realize when you're having emotions, what emotions you're having, and maybe how other people's emotions fit into that, and maybe how they feel when something occurs. So that's what we're working on. So we've got some big events this weekend. We're going to get out and have some fun. So just wanted to give you guys an update. So thanks for subscribing, everybody following the channel. Really appreciate it. Thanks.